So hi, I'm going to prove the function of x cubed is uniformly continuous on open interval 0, 2. So before we do the proof, let's recall what it means for a function to be uniformly continuous on an interval. So in this case, f is uniformly continuous on interval 0, 2 if for every epsilon is greater than 0, and we can find a delta is greater than 0. That depends only on epsilon, such that for every x in y in our interval 0, 2, whenever x is close to y, so if we have x minus y less than delta, this should imply that f of x minus f of y is less than delta, is less than epsilon. So before we do the proof, we actually have to figure it out. So let's do some scratch. So we will have epsilon is greater than 0, and now we need to find our delta. So now we will have x minus y less than delta, and this should imply that f of x minus f of y, which is f of x is just x cubed minus f of y, which is y cubed. So we can expand it to x minus y times x squared plus xy plus y squared. Then just take the absolute value of each piece. This is the absolute value of x minus y times with the absolute value of x squared plus xy plus y squared. So this piece can be made less than delta. So about all of the x and y, we know that they are in interval 0, 2. So all of them are less than 2. So we know that x is less than 2. Also y is less than 2. So you can replace the x squared with 2 squared, so it will be 4. Plus also 4 because when x is less than 2, so x squared will be less than 4, and x times y will be less than 4. So it will be 4 plus 4 plus 4, and equal to 12. So it will be 12 delta, and we want that to be less than epsilon. So what we can do is we're going to take the delta to be epsilon over 12. So for the proof, we will start by letting epsilon be greater than 0, and then we will choose our delta to be equal to epsilon over 12. So then for all x and y in the open interval of 0 to, with the distance between x to y less than delta, we have f of x minus f of y, and that's equal to x cubed minus y cubed. So we are repeating the same steps with this, and it will be equal to x minus y times x squared plus xy plus y squared. And then we know that x minus y is less than delta, so we write here delta less than delta, and we know here is equal to 12, so we times with 12, which is equal to epsilon, which is so delta times with 12 and is equal to epsilon over 12. So we times with 12 and we can get epsilon. So we've proved that epsilon is greater than 0. We found that delta is greater than 0, such that for every x and y in the open of 0 to, whenever the distance between x and y is less than delta, and the distance between f of x and f of y can be made less than epsilon. So that's all. Thank you.